In the 1700s, India was an incredible power in the world economy. The land of gold, silk, and spices. It was the center of global trade. Just Bengal alone was richer than all of Britain. But by 1947, when India gained its independence, its share in the world economy had fallen below 4%. This gap didn't disappear on its own. It was taken from them, both through war and through a far more insidious method: taxes, ledgers, and trade laws. Welcome to History and Economy. Here, money, power, and history clash. And nothing is as simple as it seems. For 2 centuries, the British Empire built one of the most efficient exploitation systems in history. They didn't just rule India, they turned it into a source of income. This great civilization, which had exported silk, jewels, and fine fabrics for centuries, was transformed into a region that supplied cheap raw materials for British industry. And they did it not with war, but at accounting desks. This is not a story of hatred. This is a story of mathematics. The story of how a nation was dragged from wealth into poverty. In the 1600s, India was ruled by the Mughal Empire. With its population of 150 million, it was a vast civilization. Agriculture was strong, ports were full, trade was flowing. European merchants would travel for months by sea for Indian textiles. Spices, indigo, cotton, all spread to the world from here. And India always had a trade surplus. Gold and silver flowed into the country, not out. But across the ocean, a small island was rising: Britain. And they had a new weapon in their hands: the Joint Stock Company. When Queen Elizabeth founded the East India Company, no one predicted it would become an empire. But the company soon realized something. The real profit wasn't in trade, it was in taxes. And in 1757, the Battle of Plassey changed everything. With fewer than 1,000 British soldiers, Bengal was captured. A puppet administration was installed. The right to collect taxes was given to the company. This was the beginning of corporate colonialism. In just 10 years, millions of pounds flowed out of Bengal. The people grew poorer, hunger increased, the economy collapsed. London grew richer, the company grew larger and larger. It became a private empire with its own money, its own courts, and its own army. In 1770, the Great Bengal Famine killed millions. But that same year, the company's revenues increased, because the goal was profit, not mercy. British economists defended this as civilization, but every improvement was actually for more extraction. Railways weren't for the people, but to transport raw materials to ports. Schools weren't for education, but to train clerks for the colony. Courts weren't for justice, but to enforce debt. And the bill for all of this was charged to India. Britain industrialized with Indian resources. It grew wealthy through Indian labor. While Indian farmers were crushed by debt, London investors earned guaranteed profits. This was called the drain of wealth. Every year, hundreds of millions of pounds flowed to Britain. In total, over 2 centuries, the equivalent of $45 trillion today was extracted. This wasn't just money. Industry, craftsmanship, agriculture, everything collapsed. While people in India fought famine, Britain received millions of tons of grain in the same years. Because exports were profitable, and the empire was so perfectly designed that India didn't just get exploited, it financed the empire. Britain even waged its wars with Indian revenues. Indian soldiers were sent to battlefields. Their salaries were paid by India again. This was a silent but powerful imperial machine. And every year, under the name home charges, India paid a massive bill. The salaries of British officials, interest on debts in England, pensions of British retirees, expenses of the British Army. In short, profit to England, cost to India. In the 20th century, the picture didn't change. Only the tools changed. Guns were replaced by contracts. Occupation was replaced by debt. Today, the modern name of the same mechanism is loans, interest, structural adjustment. IMF, World Bank, they no longer carry rifles, but they direct the flow of money the same way. Poor countries pay more in interest every year than the amount of aid they receive. The direction of the flow never changed. It only became digital, but India did not give up. Despite plunder, famine, and partition, it rose again. Today, it is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. But the marks of the past still remain. And this story asks us, if a system rewards taking rather than creating, can it ever truly be free? Because empires don't die, they only change shape. But there is still hope. India's story proves this. History does not repeat, but its rhythm is always the same. If this video gave you a new perspective, subscribe. History has the answers. I'm just here to show you where to look.